Good evening, everybody. Divine Feminine. Welcome into your reading, guys. Today is the 10th of February 2022, and these will be your energies for the next couple of days, a week, 10 days, as we normally look into the energies for the twin flame. Okay. Now, again, guys, Venus is direct. Mercury has gone direct on the 3rd of February 2022. So, good things, good stuff. Okay. We'll see the energies, of course, for you at this point in time, Divine Feminine, and then we'll delve into it as we normally do. But first, let's call upon our spirit guide, angel, our ancestors, and my divine source into this reading for you, Divine Feminine, and see what's going on. Okay, let's look into your part of the story, guidance, advices, whatever that helps you to move forward in the most positive way. Okay, that's important. Don't be overwhelmed. Don't cry. It's okay to cry. There is nothing wrong. But again, don't drain yourself over situations that you have no control, and you have to rely on your faith, on your purpose, and on your destiny. And this is how, if you look at things, and you leave the rest on the universe without any expectations in life, right? And let the universe take hold of your expectations, let it work for you. And that's when you let go control of situations that you cannot control in your life, right? But you have to learn to do that consciously. It's very important. That's a message that's coming to me right now, and that's where I'm sharing this with you. Look after yourself, guys. Be in your positive mood. Do things that you like. Work for things that makes you happy. Concentrate, focus on something that will bring you back your happiness. It's very important to be happy for people. No matter what circumstances in life hits us, no matter what happens to us, but we all have to keep up with that spirit energy, right? That belief, that faith, universe has an ultimate purpose and goal that is set up for you, right? So let's look into your current energy that will take hold of you around this portion in time, guys. Okay. Take the messages positively, because when you learn to deal with positive vibrations in life, that's when you get everything you want. Okay. I think this energy came out for the divine masculine. Nothing is set in stone, right? Or was it for the divine masculine? Or maybe for another reading. Work through your fears. It's time to release negativity. Okay, clear message for you, Divine Feminine. They're saying it's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio, right? Work through your fears. Again, new moon in Scorpio. Nothing is set in stone. So the message is, whatever you think is not possible, or whatever expectations like I said, I talked about expectations, right? Nothing is set in stone. Things can change. Things can go in different directions. Whatever you don't know might suddenly move in a different directions. Anything can happen. Nothing is set in stone. We don't know. Nothing is set in stone. So it's time to release your negativity, right? And work through your fears. Because if you believe that your belief, right? You believe that things will not change. You believe nothing is going to move for you. You believe, or if you believe that, right? If you believe that, then That's your expectation of your belief. That nothing is, but nothing, in actual reality, give it a good thought, guys. Nothing is set in stone. So whatever things have not moved for you before, whatever sense of negativity you had before, your fears, they're saying it's time to release that. It's time to move. It's time to release that fear. Work through your fear. Release your negativity, your toxicity. Whatever that fear was creating, that toxic situation in yourself, Divine Feminine, it's time. Nothing is set in stone. So there are changes that can happen. There are things that will unexpectedly come up in your life. Anything can happen. Really, anything can happen, So that's what they're saying. Don't let pride get in your way. Isn't that a very clear message? Right? Full moon in Leo. So you could be feeling very, this could be an energy of somebody who is feeling very stubborn. And it's an ego. Stubborn is also being a part of your ego self, egotistical, right? Getting that ego, that could be also a part of your fear situation where you are fearing to let go of your ego because you feel that if you let go of your ego and you bend your rules, right, then it's not going to be a win-win situation for you, because somewhere there is some kind of pride in you. That's good. Having pride and dignity is good, but letting that pride turning to your ego and getting in your way is not good. Right? Expect powerful changes. New moon and eclipse. There are a lot of things that will change. But you have to allow that change to happen. You have to also allow that change to happen. If your pride gets into your way of this powerful change that is coming up in here, it's showing up in here, it will kind of be a little bit difficult for you then, right? Prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus, because this is a prosperity and this is your messages. I mean, nothing is set in stone. So whatever had not moved before, whatever had been a barrier, wherever you had found that you are hitting the wall over time and time again, situations can change. But again, you have to allow that pride. Like I said, keep your dignity, keep your pride, but don't let ego come in the way of your pride, right? Don't be that prideful that, things become difficult for you to work with. That energy is here. So however way you take that energy, in whatever direction you move that energy, will give you the ultimate prosperity and the result that you are craving for or you are looking for, right? So somewhere you have to be flexible. Because like I said, nothing is set in stone. So if you're very hard and fast on a situation that you are not going to bend yourself or bend any rules, then it might become a little bit difficult for you to move towards that area of prosperity. What the powerful changes are showing up in here for you, Divine Feminine, right? So keep that in mind, because it's a very important message that's coming up in here. Please talk to me about don't let pride get in your way. We'll see what is the situation, because it's a very powerful energy. See, pride is also talking about strength. I mean, that strength, right? So if you are not going to allow that compassion and kindness to come back, the powerful change will not happen. If you are very egotistical and in your personal power and you're like, no, I don't want this, no, I cannot do this, no, I am very firm on situations, right? Then the kindness and compassion towards a situation will not be there. And if kindness and compassion in a situation goes missing, and only that force and that drive and that power comes into effect, it will become a part of your power play. That's what they are telling you here, right? Expect powerful changes, right? So there are certain things in life that probably you might now have to kind of compromise with or compromise on. Prosperity lies ahead. Let's see here. What is the energies that we are looking at? Right? So somewhere you have to allow yourself to be a little bit open towards this understanding, becoming a little bit more flexible in yourself. Right? That whatever has happened before, you are not able to forgive that, you're not able to forget that, and you kind of stick with that, then it will be a little bit difficult for you to be kind and compassionate, or to get into the energy of being kind and compassionate, where pride will step in the middle for you. That's what they are saying here, Divine Feminine, right? So keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind, because this is a time, looks to me that this is, again, a very powerful change in the way, a time that's coming up in your favor, right? So you have to allow that time to happen. Page of Sword, 8 of Wand, 5 of Wand. Yeah. See, this energy is that what I'm trying to understand here let me go back a little bit. There are, see, the King of Sword, right? The King of Sword is somebody, and that is the Divine Masculine with the Moon card, is kind of, has hidden a lot of things, right? Or is strategically working on releasing that part of the story. Whatever that has been hidden, has not been spoken, right? He knows that it is time to let it go. He knows that it is time to energetically understand the situation, because then you have the 10 of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, the 2 of Cups, and the 6 of Swords. So what I'm getting, guys, is that there has been, and because of this hidden part of the story, okay, things unexplained, which has created fears, created doubts, misunderstandings, illusions, whatever that story could be, has triggered off this 10 of Swords, right? Which has been a very painful and bad ending. There's like, nobody wants to talk to each other. Nobody wants to, open up the wall of communication, get rid of the wall of misunderstanding, right? It looks to me that you are not interested in doing that right now at this point in time, because again, you have a lot of doubts that has not been cleared, and you know that because you still don't have a clarity of the whole situation in here, which of course you decided to not pursue, and you're not interested. You are just over the story, like you're like, I'm over this situation. I don't want to go back into the situation and listen to the whole story again from A to Z. Because when it was time to talk about it, when it was time to open up the communication, when it was time to clear the misunderstanding, it was done. So you just, because you had reached the end of this pain, you had been in a lot of mental anxiety, mental pain, stress over this situation. So when you were like, I don't want to even think about it, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to even go there. That kind of an energy, right? With the Ace of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups, right? Because of this situation, this whole situation in the tangible world of this partnership is not really moving at this point, because you kind of don't know. And the reason this happened is, again, because of the fear, doubt, misunderstanding, everything that has been going on in the story for a long time. So it's like, you're not even interested in clearing up that situation. You're like, I don't want to. Like, and for him, it is like he's trying to make you understand, or he wants to talk with you. He wants to open up this communication, and you're like, I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to go there. So as a result, this incident or this particular situation is not really moving as it should have been moving, the Six of Swords. But what is happening in here, guys, it's very interesting that he is trying to move in. He's trying to come back to you. He's trying to bring back peace in this situation. Once again, right? From this loss, from this painful ending, right? He knows that it's not going to be completely peaceful because there are a lot of baggages that is there between the two of you at this point in time that has not been cleared up. So it's not going to be a cakewalk. Even he knows that. It can be that he just comes in and says, oh, you know what, let's be peaceful, let's be happy, let's be in the partnership, let's do this. No, he can't do that. He can't do that because even though he wants peace back in this situation between the two of you, and he is trying to come back to you, but the problem is that, it's difficult even for him because there are too many baggages that is still there in this situation of the Two of Cups that hasn't been opened up, that hasn't been spoken about, that hasn't been cleared, right? And that is where this tangible world or this beginning, it also could be that this tangible world beginning, is something that he was thinking about, could have been related with money as well for some. So was it love or was it money that has been interest, that is kind of pulling him, and this is where your doubt is, right? This is where there is a big doubt at this point. And this is where the baggage is still there because you're not sure what he wants. Does he want this partnership? Or is it the partnership that is related with money, with abundance? What is it? Right? So this is where he's trying to walk into this relationship. It's this story, right? That it's very difficult. This transition is going to be very difficult because this transition has a lot of past baggages. So it's not going to be, like I said, it's not going to be very easy for this man to come and say, okay, come on, let's be peaceful, let's be harmonious again, let's forget the past, let's start fresh. It's not going to be that easy because, again, that's why they're saying nothing is set in stone. So what is happening is there is an element of you being very stubborn at this point in time where, with the Ten of Swords, you're not even interested in opening the conversation with him about the past situation. So, and that is again because you have a fear. You have fear. There has been a lot of negativity around that situation, which is where universe is saying, if you don't allow him to open the door of conversation with you once again, and you kind of be a little bit flexible in allowing him to talk again or clear up things with you, which he's trying to do, but he's not being able to completely get that done, then this situation will become difficult, will definitely be difficult because it won't be resolved. That's what they are telling you, right? It won't be resolved because, again, the Five of Wands, conflict, drama, personality clash right now that could be happening, of this misunderstanding, of the conflict that has happened. Lot of things have gone wrong, but then again, lot of things you have learned, he has learned, right? The Eight of Wands, where he wants to move away from. He wants to move away from that situation, right? And this is where the Page of Swords is coming up in here, where it's telling me he's kind of coming to terms with some fresh understanding about where he has gone wrong. And he wants to tell that to you. He wants to communicate that to you. He is interested in, opening up the door of communication here. But it also could be that he's feeling a little bit, energetically, he's feeling like a child, having to talk about this whole situation and having to explain back the whole situation is, being a little bit childish, even for him as well, right? So, but nonetheless, he's waiting, he's waiting to understand what you are wanting at this point. Would you be interested in listening to him? Because he's feeling a little bit childish about the whole thing. It's like when people grow up, people mature, it's a little difficult to re-explain what happened in here, to re-evaluate the whole thing, to again open that conversation and see what is there, why he did the mistake, what was he thinking. So it's like being a little bit like feeling that, I've become a child, I'm like having to go back to kindergarten and start all over again, right, with the situation. So, but again, the thing is that he's feeling energetically drawn to opening the conversation with you, but he doesn't know what it is that you are thinking about. So he could be in observation at this point in time, waiting for the right opportunity or the moment to come, right? Now, in the first part, guys, you got the Three of Wands, the Seven of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. So the thing is that, you're worried. You're worried about the Seven of Swords energy, right? You're worried about him trying to come again, be sneaky about the whole thing, right? Give you hopes again. And you build up on your hopes, right? You build up on your dreams again, that, okay, one day we'll do this, one day we'll go there, one day we'll have a travel, a journey, whatever. But then you're worried about the fact that he might not be telling the truth again, right? That energy is there, that problem is there, because you have gone through that issue of the Seven of Swords, which is he comes back, he sneaks back, he makes his promise to you, you start building on that promise, you start to dream on that situation, and then boom, he's gone from your life. So that is kind of the energy, like, and with the Eight of Pentacles, what has happened in here, guys, is that you have realized that this is something that you don't want to waste your time on. You don't want to just dream on what he says, on what he promises, and then he sneaks back, sneaks out again, and you are left with nothing, right? You're left just waiting for that opportunity to come. You're waiting for that boat to come, and that never comes. The time is not coming. So you have gone through that cycle, right? You have gone through that cycle. But with that Seven of Swords, there is a change that is happening in here, and we'll see what it is, right? So what is happening with the Three of Wands, that pride is coming. You're now letting yourself know that whatever he tells you, whatever he tries to express to you, you're not going to hear it. You're not going to hear it. That's your pride, right? You don't want to dream about it. You don't want to take visions. You don't want to build expectations on that situation anymore, right? Because your pride, because you have got hurt before. And this pride is going to happen, or is happening, is because you are not taking his words or actions seriously anymore, right? Because he has already projected that kind of an image to you, where he has been sneaky, not taking responsibility for his promises that he has made to you, right? He just spoke to you because he had to speak to you. This also could be the Page of Sword energy, that he is realizing he has done this all wrong, right? He has also been childish from that point of view where he could not keep up with the promises he's made to you. He spoke about a lot of things, he discussed a lot of things. He's been energetically very communicative with you. Let's do this, let's do that. But then when it actually came to taking action on that situation, he did not. So this situation, right? So whatever he spoke, right? The five, now if you look at the cards, the Five of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Page of Sword, obviously he did not take action on this situation. He just spoke because he was going through some kind of a conflict. He wanted to settle that conflict at that point in time, right? And because of that situation, he quickly said, and this was where there was a conflict of personality, because you have taken his word seriously, whereas he just communicated to you because he wanted to buy time, or he wanted to just say that but did not mean what he said. But he spoke because he wanted to speak. He made promises to you. So this is where you are realizing, guys, that you're not going to build your expectation because of what you have seen from this man here before, right? And that is where the Eight of Pentacles, this is where you have removed yourself from that situation, and you're busy with your some kind of a new life purpose, right? And that could be work, that could be a job, that could be a skill, where over and over again you're trying to distract yourself. But it's a conscious effort. You're consciously doing that. You're consciously moving out, keeping yourself busy with something else that attracts you, that takes your time, your energy. And so with that conscious effort that you're putting in some other place, you have disassociated yourself or cut away yourself from all that expectation that he had built for you at one point in time. Please talk to me about the Three of Wands, right? This is the energy that's coming up in here, because this is your pride. You want to, somewhere you are coming to the point, the Eight of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, right? Where you're realizing that it's time to walk away from this karmic situation, right? And you don't want to, or that it also could be that you're realizing, or you are coming to terms with the fact that you don't want to deal with this situation of the karmic anymore, right? And because that is where you have been hurt. That is where there has been a lot of dented cups of emotion, right? So you are on your own journey. You are on your own journey. That's where you want to go. You don't want to hear about this situation. You don't want to deal with this situation. Because it also could be that he had left you once, where he had abandoned you because he had the karmic in his life, right? So this time around, what I'm getting, the pride, is that the pride part of this story is coming up in here is because of this situation. That you had built your hope, you had built some kind of dream before. You were just, gathering up things, you were making plans, right? But then now it is coming to the point of you understanding that you don't want to. It's your pride which is not allowing you to revisit that particular scenario in your life again. And you're just, because that has caused this energy of the Queen of Pentacles has caused you so much of pain that you're not even wanting to think about that situation, right? And you're kind of leaving and abandoning the situation. You are busy in something else. Consciously, you're making an effort at this point, or you will be making an effort at this point to not think about this situation, right? And this is again the Seven of Swords. This is again because of the way he kind of has behaved with you. And the karmic, he was being sneaky about the whole situation, and that has been very hurtful to you, right? Which is where the Six of Swords, which is where he is trying to come back and explain the whole situation and clear this situation. The Ace of Swords, yeah, he's trying to come back and tell you about the whole scenario. But what has happened to you, right? This is the powerful change. Expect this powerful change to happen. That he will come in and tell you, open up the Pandora's box, right? From that Seven of Swords energy where he was not taking responsibility for the truth. And he was being sneaky, he was being deceitful, right? So everything, and what has happened in here, guys, let me tell you what I'm getting, is because of this situation that you did not get the truth, and he knows that you haven't received the truth. You have a lot of doubt. You have built a big wall of misunderstanding, which is coming from your negativity and fear about the whole situation, right? Because this is what he projected to you. It's not you. It's been shown to you. Whatever you show to people is that image that remains back with you. And it's very difficult to clear that image unless there is a huge and powerful change that happens that completely breaks open the wall of misunderstanding, right? Until that happens, you will not be interested. And that is where, and you know what he is feeling is this story that I'm getting also. Now he's a little bit, also that story is coming up because he understands that it won't be long before you actually, decide to physically move away. Because emotionally, if you get rid of this situation, the main thing is emotions, guys, where we get tied down with a lot of things that we don't want to get tied down. It's because we are emotionally attached to that situation, right? But when we detach ourselves emotionally from that situation, then we can move. Then we are ready to take the next leap of faith because we don't have anything binding us or holding us back to that situation, right? So now he's scared. He's also a little bit scared that if he doesn't reveal the truth, emotionally you have left the situation. He possibly knows that. But even physically, you could leave the situation because you are making a conscious effort in here with the Eight of Pentacles, guys, to not pay attention. To not really pay attention, to not really ask questions, make queries, probably what you have done before. Just talk to me about the Eight of Pentacles. So this is where you have changed your conscious effort. You don't want to drain your energy because of this situation in here anymore, right? Because somewhere you know that this person has not been fair with you. So consciously, you are detaching yourself from a lot of things that you don't want in your life anymore, right? With the Page of Wands and the Five of Swords. Because again, right, this is your ego. This is also your ego, where there has been a lot of childish part of the story. And that you know that you are also in some kind of an ego over here. Let me be very clear. That he wants to tell you, okay, this is the message, that he was a child. He made the ego mistake. He did. And you know that he didn't take that leap of faith. He didn't take that risk because he was in a lot of pride and ego about the whole situation, right? And maybe this is where you are telling him at this point in time, where consciously you are making an effort to, like, you're okay, this is what you're kind of showing him, that you're not interested either, because your focus is elsewhere, your conscious activity is elsewhere, you don't have the time, right? So maybe you're being a little bit childish as well at this point, but this is all happening because of the past situation, right? Because of the past situation where you're probably telling him that I don't want it, I'm not interested. Because you have also learned your lesson too somewhere, right? That maybe it's time for you to also be a little bit different, maybe, right? Or it could be him trying to tell you the story to get you out, to get your attention, maybe, to get your attention, because there is some kind of prosperity that is lying ahead, but maybe you are not paying attention to that situation at this point in time, right? You're not paying attention to the situation. So this situation is, it's kind of a little bit messy around this portion. Messy not in the wrong way, but messy in the sense, what I'm trying to say is because because of your learning lesson, that maybe you're also feeling that he's been childish too, right? That he has also been very childish with his creative ideas and everything, that, but then again, he was not able to move, and he started to get into that ego situation, which is where you are probably disassociating yourself from that energy, because you feel that he could have told you, said a lot, but again, he was very competitive as well with some situation with you, you know that of course resulted in a hollow victory. That's a different part of the story, but it is what it is. Please talk to me about the Five of Swords here. The Nine of Pentacles. The Three of Cups. And the Nine of Swords. Yeah, his ego created a lot of difficulty in your life as well, guys, right? So this is where he's trying to apologize to you. He's trying to apologize to you, but I think what's happening, guys, is that you're not paying attention to that. I mean, this apology is not been really expressed, but I think what is happening is he's trying to be a little bit creative and not childish towards this situation, because he knows that what he has done with you has been very wrong, right? He was in a lot of competition because, you know, he did not allow you to move because he considered you to be single. You have lots of, you have your financial independence. You want to enjoy the fruit of your success story, right? To reconcile, to come back together, to be in the Three of Cups energy. You wanted to have fun. Okay, let me put it like that. He knew that you are single. You have your financial independence. You are powerful in that way. And you wanted to enjoy the fruit of your own success story by being with him and having fun, right? Enjoying, celebrating, because you have the power to do that, whereas he probably felt that he doesn't have the power to do that. So there was a mismatch, which is where the Nine of Swords appears, which is where, a lot of things that he said or did with you created a lot of stress in your life. That's because you see what's happened in here, guys, is it's because he was in that energy of that ego, was because he knew that whatever you had, whatever you have worked for, you did a lot of conscious effort from the Eight of Pentacles to reach the Nine of Pentacles. You put in a lot of work for yourself, right? Which is where you wanted to enjoy the fruit of success. You wanted to share that with him. You wanted to be a part of his life. But because of his own childishness, that he couldn't take a leap, there was a lot of ego and pride that came into his life because he knew he is not free and you are free. Okay? And that's where there was this feeling, where he wanted to hurt you because that was his inner frustration, right? That he couldn't do or he couldn't be like you. Whereas you had all the freedom, you have all the energy to do things that he couldn't do. He couldn't do, right? And that is where this learning lesson, that he had been a person in that energy where he was always comparing you with him, then what you could do with your effort, that's the thing that you put in to come to this Nine of Pentacles. You worked hard, you worked consciously, you remained focused and dedicated towards your own purpose in life, where you can build the pentacles, right? Where you had started to work consciously with the situation so that you can be a happy person with him. You wanted to share that happiness. But that is where he went on a different track, right? That is where he went on a different track and he brought in a lot of pain in your life. Instead of sharing that happiness, what he got in your life was a lot of pain, lot of anxiety, lot of stress, right? And this was because, again, like I said, this was because he was feeling that energy, that that comparison. When, for example, there are two siblings in a home, in a household, for example, you and somebody, your brother, your sister. Now, you are always comparing yourself with somebody who is very close to you, and you see that your sister has a much better life. She is a free bird, she can go anywhere, she can do anything, she has that freedom, she has that money, she has that power to enjoy her life. Whereas you, on the contrary, this is an example, whereas you, on the contrary, you don't have that freedom, right? Either you have less money or you have less opportunity, responsibilities in your life that you just cannot let go and go towards your enjoyment. So there is a comparison which is kind of being jealous, more so, envious. That's the word I'm looking for. Not that you meant harm in any way to your sibling or to your sister. You don't mean harm to them. But that's a very human kind of comparison that comes up. Very few people, very few people, guys, please note this. I have experienced in my life too. Very few people can actually do things by not being competitive in the wrong way. I mean, there is a competition which I always call a healthy competition, where what you don't have, you want to achieve that, you learn, you grow, and you put in that effort. You're right. You make that happen. That's a healthy competition without harming anybody. But there is another type of competition where you're jealous, where you're envious, because that person has everything and I'm not, I don't have anything. Or I'm not as free as she is, right? So what happens is that anger, that frustration that builds up inside you makes you want the other person to suffer. You don't like, it's very difficult to explain, guys. It's that, that feeling that he knows he was doing things wrong. He didn't want you to suffer. But that pain within him was the pain he was transferring over towards you, so that you can be in pain too. And that kind of gave him some egotistical satisfaction. That, okay, I'm not able to move, I'm not able to enjoy life like her, neither is she. Right? That is where he's kind of understanding that you have worked yourself to come to that point. And what he did was, instead of taking that effort on your part and moving forward, he brought in a lot of pain. And because he was in a lot of pain, it's a transfer over, that if I'm not happy, you're not happy either. Right? If I cannot smile, if I cannot have fun, if I cannot enjoy life, neither will I allow you to do the same. So I'll bring in a lot of pain, I'll bring in a lot of stress, I'll keep you anxious all the time, I'll make you feel guilty over situations, right? That is a way of paying back. That's a way of payback from his side to you. Because it's otherwise he had no other way of, it's like somewhere I'm suffering, so you suffer as well. I'm not going to suffer alone. That kind of thing, right? So this is where the sneakiness had come. This is where not taking responsibility had come. This is where the lying, the cheating, the deceiving had come from. Right? And this is where you are now consciously getting out of that energy. You're making an effort to consciously not think about the story as well. Keeping yourself focused, because intuitively or you understand what happened in here. Right? So, and this is why, because, there is some kind of prosperity that you are working for yourself maybe. So consciously you are detaching yourself from this energy where you don't want to, again, think about the story and feel hurt and feel bad. And it doesn't bring back good memories. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't really bring back good memories in your life. And this is where, you are leaving that situation. You're leaving those situations that made you unhappy. And he is trying to come back, push himself back, and tell you the truth here, to uncover the wall of misunderstanding that he knows you have within you, right? So this is what the story is in the first part, right? So this is what is happening, because by telling you the truth, right? By telling you the truth, he can get it off his chest as well. Because it's kind of on his chest. He's feeling bad about the situation of what he did with you. So he wants to let it out. He wants to let you know so that he feels light from his end. Right? And over here, your expectation, you're looking towards a different point of view now. You're looking towards maybe your expansion. You're looking towards your decision in life, what you want to do from here onwards. So you are leaving that old situation of that wasted emotions in you, and you are proceeding towards something that will perhaps make you happy. It's a very spiritual way of understanding that you don't need to sit in that old bad feeling of emotion, fear, negativity that has happened in this situation here. Okay, the next part is the Hermit, the Page of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles. Okay, So with the Hermit, let's first get a clarification here, guys, before I talk here. Please talk to me about the Hermit. There is something, a lot of deep soul searching that is happening over here. And more I'm getting from his end than yours. Okay. A lot of soul searching. The Knight of Pentacles. Let's see here, guys. Death. And the Ten of Pentacles. Let's talk to me about the Ten of Pentacles here. The Two of Cups. He had been very focused on the money part of the story. I think I have said that before in the last reading too, right? He had been very focused on the money. Because of that, the Ten of Pentacles, right? Which is where the Knight of Pentacles, the Death card, and the Ten of Pentacles. So it's time he knows whatever he had calculated as a part of his retirement legacy. You know, he did a lot of calculation. He put in a lot of effort so that he can build something in his life for himself, right? Where he will have a home, a legacy, friends, family, money, retirement, everything, right? It doesn't have to think about anything else as far as material harmony, goodness is concerned. So he did put in a lot of effort, right? He did put in a lot of effort to make things happen in his life. Very calculative kind of a story I'm getting here with the Hermit, right? He made changes in his life very calculatively, right? He did not just go there. He looked at all the mathematical calculations of money, more so I'm getting, right? That he really worked very hard to make that change happen. So from nothing, he built quite a lot, right? He didn't have much to start off with in his life. But because he kind of worked on this phase of transition, he did make an X amount of stability that he thought would be stable. Okay. So that with the Ten of Pentacles, we get the Two of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Moon. Yeah, but he kept juggling with love, right? He pretended to be happy with what he had. Let me tell you that. See, with the Hermit, this is a soul searching, right? This is something that he doesn't have to tell you. You don't have to tell him. This is something very deep within you, right? Being very analytical and even critical of his own self, right? Not only just being analytical, but also being very critical of his own actions that he has taken in life, right? Like I said, from one pentacle, he got into the Ten of Pentacles. So basically, he worked very hard. He did his due diligence. He made a lot of changes, probably personal, professional transformations that he created in order to build this Ten of Pentacles, right? In order to make a home, in order to build a legacy, create a legacy, whatever that could be for him, right? Where he never, like I said, where he never has to worry about any other problem. except his keeping his home safe and everything. He did make a lot of effort to make changes. Maybe, he had a smaller home before. He moved to a larger home, then he moved to another larger home, or instead of one property, he's got more than two properties now. So he did put in a lot of effort, but very calculatively, right? He took decisions slowly over time. And it took him time to come to this place of the Ten of Pentacles where he had to go through a lot of changing, transitional time in his life, right? But what has happened? Then he got, there's a partnership. The Two of Pentacles and the partnership right here, right? That could be the person in his life, the karmic situation. Or it could be you. It could be you, right? Now, what has happened in here, maybe that's when you came into his life, right? You came into his life, which actually made him very happy. He was happy to have you in his life. He was very happy to get you back in his life, even after he worked so hard to build something solid in this material world. And then you entered. Okay, this is the story I'm getting here, guys. You entered and he was very happy with this partnership. But because he worked so hard for the Pentacles, there were a lot of things that he was scared about being with you. Right? Because, like I said, he worked very hard from the ground, from scratch upwards. He took action very slowly. He had to go through a lot of transitions, and then he slowly started to build on the Pentacles. So there is a lot of effort that went into the Ten of Pentacles. It didn't happen overnight, right? So he worked very hard towards that. But then when you came, he was happy. He was happy. He was more than happy to probably get you, and he was also happily juggling between you and this Ten of Pentacles, between this love and his foundation here. He was juggling and he was happily doing that juggling, right? But at the same time, there was a lot of thing that was scaring him too with the Moon card. There was a lot of things that was scaring him. So on his face, like whenever you met him, you might have seen a smile, but you didn't know that he was juggling from within because he was scared. So every time he met up with you guys, or you guys met up, he was very happy. On his face, it showed a lot of happiness to be with you, to date you, you guys going out, having fun. But inside, there was always this lurking fear that something will happen. Something will go wrong. Something will happen. Something might just tumble out. Somebody might see him with you. Right? Somebody will go snitch, be a rat. So whatever that was, there was a lot of, it could be illusion. A lot of it could be his thinking that this will happen. But the thinking kind of was scary for him. And because of that, he was internally more so juggling with the whole situation so that others don't know what he is doing with you. Right? So this is where the Hermit is coming up in here. The Hermit is coming up in here. It's because today he feels that whatever he did really may have not been a necessity. Please talk to me about the Moon here. That he was ghosting himself with all the illusion and the fear. Page of Pentacles, right? With the money part of the story, right? With the money, that he will lose all his money. The Nine of Cups. And the Queen of Cups, right? So, again, today he's feeling that whatever he was dreading or fearing or thinking will go wrong was because he was ghosting his own self, right? And this is where, there was a part of the money involved in his situation as well, right? Where he was thinking and not taking action, whereas you, the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Cups, you were waiting for your wish fulfillment on this situation. But he didn't move. He was being childish. He was being, he was like, I don't know if I want this with her, because he had a lot of fear about the whole situation. He knew that you had a lot of wish emotionally, right? You wanted the best of the whole thing, but he was looking at it from a very monetary point of view. He was not looking at the whole situation from an emotional point of view, which you were doing. You were looking at it from an emotional point of view, whereas for him, he was looking at the whole situation because of that fear and the dread and the illusion. He was looking at the whole situation from a very monetary point of view, being very childish here. That he didn't get what wish fulfillment in reality meant. Right? He didn't get that story. This is where the Page of Cups. This is where, again, there are so many pages. Do you see that? This is where he's coming to his realization that how childish he was. That for you, Divine Feminine, for you what mattered was emotional fulfillment. You didn't care how many houses he had. You didn't care what bank balance he's carried. You cared for the fact what he has to emotionally offer you. Even if he has nothing but one pair of pants and a shirt, but he has so much of emotion for you, you would be more than willing to be a part of his life. Because to you, emotions matter, not monetary situation. Because you by yourself, you are monetarily independent, right? Please talk to me about the Page of Cups. And this is again where he completely went in a wrong direction, because to him, like I said, because he has always been calculating this situation from a very monetary, because with that Queen of Pentacles, let me get the cards out, guys. With the Queen of Pentacles, he has nothing but a marriage or an agreement of monetary situation. Let me tell you that, right? His agreement with the Queen of Pentacles is more monetary. So because he is used to that monetary part, emotions did not play a role in his life. He completely forgot there is a thing called emotions. That also is a part, that is not a part, it is the part, it is the significant part of anybody's life. Money comes, money goes. Today, if you are rich, tomorrow you can be poor. But if you have the right emotion, you can always stay together because your emotions bind you. You can have, maybe you were living in a 4-bedroom house that you have to downsize and come to a 1-bedroom house. But if you have the right emotion, that 1-bedroom house will seem like a palace to you. Right? This is where he failed to understand the whole situation, because he has been always very fixed on the monetary part of the situation. It's only because he wanted to make the karmic happy. That's an agreement, that's a contract they have, that you bring in the money, you keep me flooded with money, with everything, all the goodies the material world can offer, I'm happy. Emotions, I don't know. So he got into that track of not understanding that emotion is the thing, right? Now, this is where the Page of Cups, this is where he's realizing that even if he didn't have anything, you would still take him. Because you had emotions. That is what you wanted from him. This is where, again, the Hermit appears. Look, this is where, again, that soul searching. That he was coasting his own belief. that he had wrong belief system. He believed things in the wrong things that he shouldn't have. But because of his way his life went, that's how he could think, right? So this is where he is understanding, the hermit, the queen of wand, what you are all about, right? The hanged man. Yeah, he is paused to reflect on the situation now. He is pausing to reflect on this situation now about you. That he couldn't offer you in emotions. He couldn't. And he was hosting himself with the idea that you are also like what he has seen with the female gender, maybe. But today he sees you as a very powerful figure, as a magnetic figure, as a charming, intelligent, bright figure. A person who is capable, right? Lot of capability. To take in somebody who doesn't have money but has the emotions. You are enough by yourself to take in somebody who comes to you with the right emotions in the face. Right? The Four of Pentacles. Because you, it could be your energy where he knows that you are not moving. Yeah, the King of Pentacles. Let's see. The Four of Swords. And the King of Cups. Yeah, he's realizing, look at this transition here. Look at what is happening here. With the Four of Pentacles, he was insecure about the whole situation monetarily. Right? He was insecure about the whole situation monetarily, that he failed to understand what your requirement in life is not money, it's more emotions. This is where he is paused to reflect on his own security here. Then why was he doing this? Because he felt that if he gives you the money or he has to share the monetary benefits with you, then the other part of the story will suffer monetarily. His calculation was completely based on monetary situations, guys. Right? So this is where today he's realizing where he went wrong. Because you beings, you could be stubborn as well now. This Four of Pentacles could be your energy too, right? Where you are pausing, you're not moving. And he knows that he's right behind you. And he can see that you are not moving. You're pausing too, because you're also reflecting on this whole situation here. Right? And this is where, as the King of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, he's not talking. He's not communicating. He's not talking. He is detaching himself from other situation, because in the material world, guys, he's healing from this bad situation that he could not figure out the right action, because now he is coming out as the King of Cups, because this is where this transition is taking place. This is where he is learning to open his heart again. From that monetary situation, from calculations and mathematics to figures and to money, from stability. I want stability. I want so much of money in my account. I want this. I want that. Everything material. Very material. Right? Where he was the king. Material king. But today he's come to a point where he is understanding that the material kingdom is not everything in the world. He can have stability. He can have 3 homes. He can have 5 homes. Who cares? Right? But if he doesn't have emotions, there is no fundamental stability. So this is where he's learning to heal by himself, to open his heart, to express his emotion that he had been repressing, because the material world, material stability, money was more important to him. Okay, so this is where this complete part of the story, and this is the Queen of Cups and this is the King of Cups. There is again the King of Pentacle, the Queen of Pentacle. He is married, he has a family, he has an ex. I don't know why I said ex, but he has a karmic, right? And that could be mother, sister, anybody, spouse, partner. But when it comes to the matter of his heart today, that is only with you, Divine Feminine. Let's talk to me about the King of Cups. And this is where he is realizing the whole story for himself, right? The Three of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, what he has missed with you, look at that. And the Seven of Cups, right? Where he kept you confused about the whole situation. He kept you confused over the whole situation, whether he wants to expand with you or not, right? As the King of Cups, he's realized what a big learning lesson he has had from the King of Pentacles. This was the King of Pentacles who took this action, not the King of Cups. As the King of Cups is realizing the mistake that he needs, that now you have options. You have options, whether you choose to have him back in his life or not. Whereas one day, he probably had the option, where you wanted him to expand with you, right? But with the Five of Pentacles, he left you out from that option. He left you out from that situation of collaboration, partnership, teamwork, doing things together. He didn't include you. He left you out. Today, you have options about the whole situation, whether you want this man to come back into your life as the King of Cups. Wow, guys. I can only say wow. Yeah, he left you clouded. He also left you clouded at one point in time where you didn't know what you wanted or or what things are happening in your life. What is that emotionally clouded you were at that point in time, right? Because he left you out. So because he left you out, there is also a learning lesson today for you. With the Five of Pentacles, this is where you are coming to the point of understanding that he is not the only option in your life. You have options. Now, it's your option whether you decide to work on that option or not. It's your decision. But you do have options. Why? Because you're the Queen of Wands. Anybody would love to have you in their life. Because you're magnetic, you're brilliant. You can pull people in your life, right? You have that quality in you. So you have options. You definitely have options. And here he is with the cup. He doesn't know what option you are going to take. Now, once you were waiting for him with that cup, ready to share that Nine of Cups with him, ready to give him that wish fulfillment. One day you were waiting to do that. Today he is waiting to see what you are going to do now. The next is the Nine of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the World card. Wow. Okay, let's see here. Please talk to me about the Nine of Pentacles here. Because you're free, you're independent. That's where your options are. You see? That's where your options are, guys. The Lovers. Okay. the Eight of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups. Okay. So your option, he knows very well. You're the Queen of Wands, right? The Queen of Wands appears twice. You're magnetic, you're brilliant, you're powerful, you're esoteric. Call it the whole 9 yards. Okay. Now the thing is that he doesn't know. He's waiting with a cup in here. He's trying to understand what you're going to do. Because he doesn't know. Because he doesn't know if you would want this teamwork back, because you have learned a learning lesson here. He doesn't know if you would like to return back as a part of his team again. Because universe today has flipped the table. The universe is giving you the options today. Saying, hey, Divine Feminine, choose your option carefully now. Take the right decision. Because whatever the decision that you take will move you towards your prosperity, right? Because 9 of Pentacles, because you're free, you are independent, you have the luxuries that other people don't probably have, right? And this is where the Lovers, this is where the Eight of Pentacles, this is where he is trying to consciously work to keep his distraction away from the Four of Cups. He is very distracted. He knows that you lack the empathy now. He knows that, right? He knows you lack that empathy, that sympathy for him that you once had, because he has missed that opportunity with you. Right? When there was that opportunity for him, he didn't take it with you. There is a missed opportunity here for him. But today what's happened is, because of the wrong decision with the Lovers, a choice he had, he didn't make the right choice. Right? He didn't make the right choice. So he and you both are unhappy over this situation. Both of you guys are unhappy. He's more unhappy because he knows you are unhappy for whatever has happened here. You didn't deserve that. You really did not deserve that. That's what he is feeling, right? So again, like I told you, you are consciously trying not to bring back those memories. He is consciously trying to keep away from that memory where he knows that he has missed a lot of opportunities with you. He doesn't want to go back and think on that anymore. He doesn't. He's consciously, exactly like you. You are consciously trying to relieve yourself from that situation so that you don't have to go back and revisit that old memory. Similarly, he is trying to not revisit that place or that situation where he has missed opportunities with you, right? The Queen of Wands. Because that's painful for him. The Queen of Swords. Because from the Queen of Wands today, you are the Queen of Swords. You're brilliant. Again, you're intelligent. You're brilliant. You have a sharp tongue. Right? The Ten of Wands. And he knows that. He knows that. The Six of Pentacles. That if, you are very clear about the fact that if he doesn't come back to you, or if he comes back to you with that Ten of Wands, with that low self-esteem of this give and take, of this monetary situation, where he has a lot of responsibility, this, that burden he is carrying towards give and take with other people, you're going to cut it off. You're not going to take it. Because now he has to prove to you that he has enough self-esteem to bring back a balance of give and take in this situation. So for which he will have to prove his worth to you. He has to prove his worth to you, because you from the Queen of Wands will turn into the Queen of Sword to cut him out easily if he comes back to you with that same old part of the situation. You won't take it. You won't take it. You're like, no, I don't need that. You can leave. Because that's where the world is. That's where you will close the scene if you see the situation happen. You will completely close that cycle forever. Let me see the world. Because again, you have the option. Remember? Please talk to me about the world. You have the option to close the situation if he shows up in front of you like that. The Six of Cups. The Two of Wands. The Three of Wands. And the Nine of Wands. Right? He wants a situation back with you guys. He wants this relationship to come back to life. Okay, let me tell you that. But at the same time, because he knows that you have the option to close this situation. You do have. It's your choice, whatever your choice will be going ahead on this situation. Because like I said, you're very clear about what is going to come back to you or who is going to come back to you. Because somebody who has to match your vibration, you need a person and an energy that can match your vibration, not somebody who has low self-esteem, does not know what to do. You don't want such a person, because that kind of energy is a pain to handle for you. Right? So here is the deal, guys. So if you see that energy, you will immediately close that cycle. And he knows that, right? But at the same time, he definitely is desiring this relationship. There's a lot of desire in him for this relationship, the Six of Cups, right? Because this is his desire. He wants this. He wants this relationship to be rekindled. He doesn't want to lose you. But the problem is he's stuck at the crossroad because he knows you have options now. He doesn't have an option. So whatever decision you take is the decision on the road that he will have to follow. Because otherwise, independently, he will not be able to do much on this. Unless you open the door. Unless you allow him. Right? So therefore, he's stuck at a crossroad. He doesn't know whether you're going to open the door or which is the door he will take towards you. There's a lot of desire in his whole situation to bring back this energy, the soulmate energy right here. He can't, because this passion is there within him, right? Now this is where the Three of Wands and the Nine of Wands, and this is where he is holding on with a lot of reserve strength, guys. A lot of spiritual and reserve strength. Because he has to wait for that moment to come. Right? When you, like I said, you are possibly expanding yourself in another direction. You are moving away from that energy because, like I told you in the beginning, you don't want to hold on to an expectation with remember the Three of Wands. Now, over here, he is waiting, right? He is waiting to see what is that option you take, and he's fighting with his reserve strength for that moment to come. Until that moment comes, he will not know it. So he will have to wait for that moment to come, right? To see if he can, if there is an opportunity still available to him then. If you're going to allow that opportunity for him to be there in your life, right? So, very difficult energy for him, guys. It's like he doesn't know what's going to happen, right? He's using a lot of internal strength at this point in time to hold on for that time to come, because he doesn't know what your final call will be here. Let's talk to me about the Nine of Wands. The Page of Swords. Because, yeah, see, he knows he has made mistakes, right? The Eight of Cups. And the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. So with the Nine of Wands, guys, again, he has that sense, when he was childish. He was childish, and because of that, there has been a lot of mistake that has happened in here. His spiritual growth is telling him that he will have to fight this time period with a lot of reserve strength to wait for the moment to see when it comes what happens. Until then, he will not know. That's what is happening, right? Because again, he has to wait. There is a delay as well. But really, he can't do anything about it at this point in time, The Eight of Cups, because again, you also had the Eight of Cups. Remember, he is on a journey. He is on a journey as well. A very, very spiritual journey where, like you are leaving behind the old dented emotions, like I explained in here. The Page of Cups, the Page of Swords, he knows he has made a lot of mistake in here. Like I said, he told you, he said this, he did that. He made promises, but he didn't live up to it. That is an emotional damage that has happened, which is where he is also wanting to leave that. He's also on his journey, right, with the Seven of Pentacles. But he cannot leave the situation totally until the time when he will know if you are still interested in returning back to his life. If you are interested in turning the whole situation and starting it from scratch, starting it fresh again. If you can forgive him for his mistake and decide that it's okay to start fresh again, a new harvest in life. But, he doesn't have an answer till now. He doesn't know if you are willing to do that. If you're willing to let go of the past emotional hurt and pain, right? And free him from that situation to start fresh once again. He doesn't know, because the divine timing is at play. So until that time, that moment comes, until that particular moment comes, he will not get his answer, right? He will not get his answer, because this is where he is walking towards. He's walking towards a fresh new beginning with you, right? Where he also wants to be forgiven for all that he did before. He wants to let it go. And he wants to start fresh with you. But the problem over here, it's not a problem. The scene is over here then he doesn't know if you are willing to do the same with him. If you're willing to start in the tangible world once again with this situation as well, right? It's a tough situation. Please talk to me about the Seven of Pentacles, because the Six of Swords, the Four of Cups, right? And the Five of Pentacles. Yeah. See, because you're holding a lot of baggages, guys. So he doesn't know if you can forgive him for this situation and be willing to start fresh with him once again. He doesn't know that, because that part of the story is still to be understood. That's where the prosperity lies. If you're willing to bring back that prosperity, start a fresh new prosperous journey. And this is where, he's trying to come back into your life. But again, he is also finding it difficult because he is carrying back a lot of baggages like you, right? He's also carrying back a lot of baggages. The Four of Cups, emotional. Emotionally, he knows he has missed opportunities. The Five of Pentacles, where he left you out in the cold. This is the baggage he's carrying with him, right? He wants to come back and make peace over this situation. But the problem is that, like I told you in the beginning, this is not something that will happen overnight. This transition, this transformation, where you will kind of say, oh, I've forgotten everything. It's okay. Let's go back. Let's have peace. Let's have a cupcake. No. That cupcake will take a long time to be made. It's, has to be baked and go into the oven and whatever has to happen on that front. It won't be an easy cupcake to have for him. That's what I'm trying to say. Because there are a lot of baggages over this situation where he did not turn back to see what happened with you when he left you out in the cold. So now if he comes back and tries to tell you the situation and tries to make peace with you, it won't be easy. Because there will be a lot of baggages to be cleared, lot of explanations, lot of talking that needs to happen. Because if peace needs to return back in this situation for the prosperity to begin with you, that wall of misunderstanding will have to break open, as I said. But in this case, when he walked out from your life, is what I'm also getting, right? When he went to get his own peace, he did not turn back to see what happened, what he left behind here with you. This is the problem. And this is where the Eight-Dented Cups, this is where he is, wants to leave that memory behind. And he wants to start fresh, but he doesn't know if you are willing to do the same as well. Right? So this is what the energies are for now, guys. Enjoy this reading until we get back once again to see each other. Till then, goodbye. God bless, Khuda Hafiz, and Namaste.